International Students Officer. The International Students Officers represent 20% of the student population. They hold drop-ins, support international events, and ensure that international students get the fairest deal while studying at the University of York. They lead the International Students Association, or ISA, a student network which enables cultural exchange, addresses welfare issues, and fosters a welcoming community for international students at the University of York.
To become the next International Students Officer. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hi, good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. So let's start off with a primary concern for the international students over this pandemic, it has been that many have not been able to return to York. What policies and plans do you have to support these students through this?
I think one of the main things we have to do when students aren't in York is to make sure that they feel that they're part of the community. Even though it might be virtual, it's important to reach out to them regularly and make sure that their well-being is all right, and to encourage, Zoom calls and events that are online so they can feel like they're part of the community, so their transition coming to York is a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that as well, because I'm kind of part of that boat, because I'm obviously I'm in Toronto right now and I'm not in York. And to kind of have that kind of thing, or even so that they know everything that's going on, or everything that's available online, is really important so that they do feel part of that community.
So obviously this is going to be a big task, but Alessandra, you're doing this with Preet alongside a full-time placement next summer, potentially. Do you think this is realistic, and how do you intend to manage this?
I am optimistic to say that it can be realistic, because right now we're all learning how to work remotely and online, and I think Preet and I have already been working, planning out the manifesto and all of our ideas. We've been doing it all online, so I think that we can just extend that to, if I were to get a placement, to be involved, but virtually, and I think it's still important to put in 110%, even though I might not be in York physically.
So something you've said in your manifesto that you plan to do is to create a safe platform to encourage discussion. The pandemic has exposed divides between UK students and international students, particularly through racist comments posted online. How do you plan to support students through these incidents and still maintain a platform for discussion?
I think what I've seen, at least with a lot of other, with a lot of other societies and networks, is that they do campaigns and stuff like that to kind of transition or help promote positivity and stuff like that. I've seen it particularly with the Women and Non-Binary Network. And I think doing stuff like that is actually help promote a more welcoming and positive environment. And actually, some people don't even realize what they're saying is actually hurtful to somebody else, or what they're saying exactly is harmful. And so to kind of have those campaigns to increase sensitivity among UK students, but also international students, will be really important, and a good way to be able to promote a more welcoming environment for international students.
Yeah, I agree with Preet there that it's important to encourage people to understand the viewpoints and educate everybody, even if they're not an international student or a UK student.
So you've both got a lot of experience that's really notable through your manifesto, both in the International Students Association and as James College International representative. Do you think these structures that are already in place could be used more effectively?
I think from the experiences that we have, we're able to kind of get that insider's view of how things function, so we can apply that to how we can transition and add our touch to this whole role. So I think it helps with allowing us to see the multi-dimension of just this whole role in general.
You talked a minute ago about how you could adapt the things done last year by women and non-binary officers, for example. Do you expect for there to be more interaction between officers next year?
100%, because I think inter-society relations is something that's really important that could potentially increase. I think with International Student Association particularly, a lot of people don't even know that it kind of exists or whatever. And
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Preet. I'm going to have to introduce the next candidate, which is Tilly Zhu, another candidate for International Students Officer.
On the first day of campaigning for